Guys, so today what we're going to be talking about is I was analyzing some emotions and trying to deduce the max valuable principle from it, and I think this will be very interesting. So the premise is that the various emotions, just like beliefs, have something to do with keeping us safe or preventing harm or danger or death or something like that. So all of these things, all the bodily functions, all the thoughts, all the ideas, all the models that we create is in some way in service to helping us live in the future, or projecting us into the future, or helping our group and helping various people live into the future that would eventually have a positive outcome for us, whether that be genetically or metaphysically. Who knows? Okay, I'm just kind of putting this out there. But let's look at a few emotions and let's try to maybe find that. I know that's kind of like you're sorting and you're being very very biased here, but let's just take a look. So let's look at happiness. Okay, happiness is caused by anything that realizes safety or like hedges risk, gets rid of risk, and realizes some sort of gain. Right? We have an idea, or we have a group of people, a connection. Right? Connection helps you survive. So when it makes sense through that connection, we realize that we're actually safer when we have these people around us that'll be there if something happens, right? If something, of course, when nothing happens, right? You can stretch out, you can do whatever, but when stuff happens and you know that they're there and they're there, and you build that trust, right? Trust is something that you do, right? Something that, when you trust somebody, right? There's a connection there. And so, that hedges risk, because you know that they're there. You know that if you ask for something, they'll be able to do that, or they'll help you. They'll help you get through it. It's like a home base, right? Just like when you were playing tag when you were a kid, you had this home base, and where all your friends would chill, and maybe you'd do one of that to one of the taggers or whatever, and you'd be off. But you have that home base where you can reach out, you can do things, but then come back and rest and recuperate, and have that bond, right? That's really cool. Anger helps you defend boundaries to keep you safe, right? Because if somebody's attacking uh, a boundary or something like that, well, that might cause damage, that might cause um, you not to be as safe as you were. Now, is that true? Is that really true? Well, we'd have to look into the logic behind that and deduce whether or not it's true. But this is just information. If you look into behavioral psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, emotions are information that give us feedback. So we use that feedback to make better decisions, or to really realize how we feel and then deduce, okay, why is this feeling like that? Very useful. Sadness, the loss of a crutch or a catalyst to keep us safe. Not really a loss, maybe not a loss of safety, could be. Just like if you lost a goldfish, you'd be kind of bummed, or an item or something like that, you'd be bummed, but it wouldn't actually cause you to be less safe. But, you know, so I don't really know much. Fear prevents you from, a moving away action, from danger or death, right? Disgust, kind of the same way. You could feel disgusted about something that's like a physical thing, like if you look at like a disease stuff, or something that's very visceral, or maybe disgust could also be registered as like disgust for a person. That might be also contempt or something like that, where there's something that we don't really want and we kind of want to distance ourselves from it, right? So kind of moving away, kind of similar to, not similar to fear, but it's not really as urgent, Uh, Contentment, all metaphysical ideas, causes of safety have been realized in reality. When you're content, you're like, wow, all my ideas of this and that have been realized, and it feels great, right? You have an idea of safety or something like that, or an idea of a dream or something, and then it's realized, and then you're there, and it's like amazing contentment, right? Because ambition, you're trying to strive towards this metaphysical idea, but it's not actually in reality. So, a lot of ambition is kind of maybe driven by uh, the desire to be safe, or at least, desire to at least not be as at risk or something like that. Because if you're safe, you can reach out and you can do things and do that stuff, right? I'm not saying ambition is bad, because that's a reason why a lot of great things happen. A lot of ambitious people, right? Accomplishing things, right? Accomplishing that metaphysical idea, which is amazing. Uh, but it's maybe something to correlate with, if I get over there, I'll be safer than where I am now. That's a good response. That's something good, that might help somebody. Surprise, the realization of an unknown possibility manifested in a known reality, um, positive or negative. So you could be surprised at something really bad or really good, like positively surprised or negatively surprised. Um, Gosh. And then love, probably a distinction within beauty, distinction within the realization of beauty. Uh, well, realization is an action, right? So by, thinking or, because when we fall in love with something or we really like something, it's kind of an idea, right? We kind of fantasize about it or we think about it a lot. We grow this attachment, some various brain chemicals activate or whatever, just by our thoughts or by our physical body language or, by physical interaction even, just, all that stuff translates into each other. And like, when we appreciate something or we love something, it's kind of comes from beauty and distinction, right? We love that thing or we don't love this thing, or in comparison, it's a distinction, right? um no, that's just the general, like, I haven't really gone through in depth with these emotions. If you want me to do that, just leave a comment below. Shame, possible rejection of safety, you know at least, safety, what does that mean? Well, uh, uh, danger, probably danger, hedge against danger, that's probably a better one. um Gosh, like a kind of suffering lets you know that something's wrong, right? If you feel shameful about something, maybe something wrong about a previous action that wasn't exactly a hedge against danger, or may have been dangerous to somebody or somebody that you knew, loved, and maybe betrayed respect, maybe betrayed them in some way, but you didn't know, and then you have all these emotions. Yeah, so, just help you realize that something was wrong so that we can fix it, right? That's the whole purpose behind this information, so that we know what's wrong. Just like pain, suffering, if pain tells you when something's wrong with the body, suffering tells you when there's some metaphysical idea or something that we've done and we need to reflect on it and then work through it and realize the good, something better. And then it goes away. So suffering isn't your enemy, it's your best friend. It's just the causes behind it are the things that we need to address. Interest, the possibility to find something better, realization of the good, or a hedge against danger. Envy usually involves the exclusion, so somebody else gets a benefit while, well, let's just say me, I don't get the benefit, and I'm envious of somebody else who gets a benefit, but that's completely delusional because it's not, it's not like they get everything and I get nothing, right? It's not like that, right? Okay, really? They're making a distinction like that? And especially in today's world, like, that's not, maybe back in the day when resources were scarce, but that's like, way before. Today, it's not really like that. So we can look at envy and be like, okay, that's kind of how I feel, so let's ask some questions, Amusement, uh, the experience, some sort of experience of the good, um, escape from the safety, maybe entertaining metaphysical ideas, getting outside of, just the physical. I don't know. I'd probably have to look into it. Awe is the first exposure to something that previously unknown that is good, um, or hedges from danger. Like imagine something so amazing, so spectacular, so gainful, and you didn't know it before, and then all of a sudden, boom, you saw a concert where somebody was just blew you away and it just fired you up, and you knew that was the moment that you wanted to be, fill in the blank, right? You were in awe, you were just enthralled with it, and there was an idea that just popped in your head, a dream that you didn't know that you had. Now it's there, boom, there it is, so that's useful, isn't it? Embarrassment, an action viewed by others that might disturb some various, because if you embarrass yourself, that might harm your relationships. In reality, that's significantly not true. And if it does, it's not really, they're not really your friends. Just putting that out there. Pride, or it's something that you laugh about too. You know, it's like you embarrass yourself and then everybody laughs and then you have a great time. You know, if it's really something that you think is a threat, if you embarrass yourself, you know, that's probably not true. And if it is true, they're not your friends, or they're not people that you really want to lean on. If you're, you know, going bungee jumping, hey, you got the other end of the rope, and they're like, sure. It's like that's not really what would be the best. Pride. Next one. Everything that you have, uh, everything that you have or do, translates to some sort of hedge against risk, hedge against, you know, danger, um, and an indication of personal value. So then you're ascribing all those things as something that validates that we're so good or something like that. I still need to look into that. You know, these are just kind of ballpark things. Um, gratitude. Gratitude is interesting because it's the realize that it's a way that we can realize all the connections and all the medians that we are safe. Because if we're safe, we can play, right? If we're safe, we can explore and then come back to home base. If we're safe, we can be creative and stretch and go out there and then come back and then regroup and then, you know, it's a point of reference, right? So if we have gratitude about something, we have gratitude about something, well, we can realize all the ways that we are safe, right? We can realize all the ways that are safe, and then we can put ourselves in this positive, good psychology, you know, about things that are actually legit, you know, not just, you know, BS. Because if we have to deal with something, we want to deal with it. But you know, if it's something's true and something that we're thankful for, really thankful for, you know, that might cause us to feel safer, more connected, you know, more meaningful. You know, boredom, desire for sensory input, either positive or negative. Um, yeah, I don't know about that one. Desire, an idea that would be preferred to actualize in the physical. That one's pretty good. Horror, surprise, and fear mixed together. I didn't go over surprise. No, I did. Yeah, I did. Um, Guilt lets us know that we have an action that was possibly wrong and that we weren't as safe as we originally thought, or we didn't hedge the risk that we originally thought, or danger, or as good. We didn't actually realize the good that we thought we were. Just some sensory input. Grief, loss of a catalyst of safety, therefore danger. Well, somebody could have grief because when you're grieving over somebody that you were really connected with, um, you know, that's a loss of connection, and therefore, you know, the sense of safeness is probably not as strong as it was because you lost them now. Now, yeah, yeah. So these were just some basic emotions that I just went on the internet, looked up some, and kind of put this all together. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you wanted to hear like a specific emotion you wanted me to focus on and maybe, you know, refine a little bit, I'd love to hear it below. And talk to you soon.